Hey guys, it's Alyssa Rushton here, helping you expand your consciousness and create more magic and miracles every day. Today's video is about how to actually stay in 5D. Now, if you haven't already watched the other two videos in the series, go back and watch those because they're all about what 5D actually is and how to get there. But in this video, you're going to learn the tips. Yes, this is a tutorial about how to actually stay in 5D. Because when you are uplifting your consciousness, there is a little bit of work to stay there. You know, it's kind of like this. When you are exercising and you're getting really fit, if you stopped your fitness program, you wouldn't stay there. You would move down. So these are the tips that I found are really super helpful to keep you in the higher dimensions. And of course, there's higher dimensions than 5D, but you know, our goal is to kind of maintain at 5D and then move on from there. So these are some of my favorite tips, but I'd love to hear what some of your favorite tips are. So be sure to like this video, share it with your friends, and then pop your comments about what your favorite tips are. So let's dive into today's video. Number one, have an early awareness program. So that means setting your energy to have an awareness of when you're popping out of your higher expanded consciousness level. Have that early awareness program so that you know in advance and you can watch yourself so that you can uplift. I was talking to someone the other day and he said that one of his friends had been watching too much news of all that's going on and really dropped so much in their consciousness level and really started to engage in all of the fear to the extent that they can't even really have conversations now because they're really in two different places. So number one is really monitor yourself, watch yourself for when you have those dips in your energy. And one of the things I like to do is just see how I'm feeling with anything. If I feel really excited and lit up and on fire with life and energized, that means it's helping me feel really good. Or if I feel really relaxed and peaceful and calm, I know that that's a really good thing for me. But if I feel my energy start to dip or I get really tired all of a sudden, that's a really key one. Does your energy dip and you get really sleepy for no reason? That is something for you to tune into and go, okay, what made my energy dip? What made me feel sleepy? And then do something different. So number one, early awareness program. Number two, practice present moment. When you are in that present moment, you are going to have a harder time being in a lower level of consciousness. When you are in that present moment, you're really noticing things from an awareness perspective. You're not in the past or the future. You're just right where you are. You're usually in a state of appreciation and you're filling up on all that life has to give. You're not in a state of worry or fear. You're just in the present moment, because usually in the present moment, we have everything we need. Number three, avoid inflammatories. Inflammatories are something that can affect your vibration. So too much sugar, too much inflammatory food, too much caffeine, too much news. Those are all inflammatories. They inflame parts of your physical body. They can also inflame your ego, right? So anything that you feel inflames you into a state of agitation, whether it's internally or externally, is you want to keep a limit on those. So obviously I still watch the news and I do still have caffeine. I do still have a dark chocolate bar from time to time. And that said, I don't do it all the time. I keep a limiter on how much I do those things because I know they actually do affect my overall vibration. It's what you do 90% of the time that keeps you where you're at. So if 90% of the time you're eating high vibration foods that really nourish you and make you feel really good, and 10% of the time you have some things that maybe take you off balance just a little bit, you know, overall, you don't have to be perfect, but it keeps you at this place, right? Whereas if you start to dip, and I noticed I've talked to many people who have started smoking again. They started drinking again. We talked to one lady last week who said, you know, I usually only drink a glass of wine a week, but she's back to a glass of wine or two every single day. So we want to keep our minds on what are we doing most of the time? How are we coping with the stress? Are we coping with it with the inflammatories that we know inflame our systems and are going to pop us right out of that maximum state of consciousness? And that's what inflammatories do. They pop your body out of consciousness and into inflammation mode. And same thing with the outside stuff like the news and people that are negative and some of those other things. They pop you out of the present moment and into that inflamed consciousness. All right, let's see. Number 4, high vibe foods and hydration and minerals. Having a hydrated body is really important. And one of the ways we do that is with our foods that we're eating. So veggies with high water content like celery and carrots and cucumbers. Those are wonderful ways to reboost the body. My partner, Dwayne, one day had a huge blood sugar crash and we'd been out all day and we had like a high carbohydrate breakfast. And so I said, let's get you a salad. And we got him a salad. And later he said, gosh, that was really counterintuitive for me. I would have thought I needed something like orange juice or a granola bar, but the salad completely brought him back into a state of homeostasis. Now, he's not a diabetic, and obviously you would do different things for someone who was diabetic, but in this case, nourishing yourself with these balancing foods, whatever foods tend to balance you, is going to help you feel better, keeping your body fully hydrated and mineralized. Your body is a lot water, and water is a great connector, a communicator. Those minerals help your cells communicate. So if you want a better connection to the universe, if you want to feel more expanded, keeping that hydration and the minerals up in your body is really going to be helpful. All right, keeping your heart open, no matter what, is so important, especially during the stressful times. Right now we are living through a time of unprecedented, prolonged stress for many people around many topics. Family, health, relationships, finances are our foundational stuff. It can feel for many people very stressful. So we want to do our best to keep that heart open and in forgiveness mode, in non-judgment mode. That'll help keep you in the higher dimensions. I love to practice Ho'oponopono. Pretty much all the time I'm saying in the background of my energy field, I love you, I'm sorry, thank you, please forgive me. And just as I'm going out in my day, I'm just running this kind of background program of, I love you, you're amazing. Thank you for being a divine being of light. I sometimes say my own little version of Ho'oponopono, but it's this background dialogue. It's an underlying operating system that keeps my heart open no matter what I'm seeing, no matter how difficult it is to see. And we have seen a lot of difficult things lately. So doing that process of keeping the heart open, feeling the feelings and loving on what arises, loving on the stress, loving on the frustration, loving on the anxiety, whatever it is, just loving that emotion up. Practice being 100% authentic. Easy for me to say, but being authentic helps to keep you in the 5th dimension. One of the things that you are going to see in the next year to 3 years' time is that the people who haven't been authentic, they are going to fall out of their station, if you will. The things that haven't been authentic, truly authentic, you're going to see kind of crumble and fall away. And that's kind of a cool time, but that also means that we've got to get more authentic. Any place where you're holding in your life something that hasn't felt authentic to you, hasn't felt 100% true, it's time to really clean that out and get 100% authentic. That also means it's time to be seen as who you really are. If you've been holding yourself back from talking like you normally would to many people, maybe you have your bestie that you talk to, but you only talk to your bestie about who you really are and you don't share that necessarily with other people. People can really feel when you're not being authentic. They can feel when something's off. And what's being activated right now on the planet is most people are being activated into that 4th dimensional heart open space. And so the thing of it is, when your heart's been opened, you can now feel what's not true in a whole new way. So for you who are watching this video, who are, on a higher, like up, you're more on the advanced path, you're maybe farther along in the journey of learning, then some folks, it's really important to be in that super authentic place and just making sure that all parts of you are in authenticity. And then lastly, practicing daily gratitude and having a nature practice. Being grounded and connected into earth is something that's really important to human beings. When we go into outer space, if you were in outer space too long, you would actually lose your mind and go crazy. NASA's done a lot of studies around this. We have to do a grounding practice. It helps keep our energetic being okay and not losing our minds. So one thing to do is be in gratitude daily, but also get yourself in nature, get your feet on the earth so that you can ground down that frenetic energy that comes through. We've got more technology on the planet than we've ever had, more electrical technology. Now we are magnetic electric beings, but we've got to ground out that electricity. Think of it like this. Your body's like that thunderstorm, and that lightning will come down and strike to ground into the planet. And once it grounds in, it's no longer dangerous. But until it connects with something on the ground, it's pretty dangerous. So for you, we can collect all of this energy and it can feel like so much. And if you just get outside, get your feet in the earth, get your bottom on the grass, whatever it is, get yourself connected with the planet, you will feel so much better and you'll be able to process that energy out, and it'll help you heal and help the planet heal and help keep you in the fifth dimension. Okay, those are my top tips for actually staying in the fifth dimension. Be sure to watch the final video in this 5D series of why it's so important for you to be in 5D. So we're going to talk about why it's so important and then a final tip of what you can do. So be sure to pop in and look on for that on the IG stories and the board and YouTube. Make sure to check out the links below this video if you want a little extra help staying in the magic and miracle zone every day and to create your reality by divine design. I love you so, so much. Thank you for being here on the planet right now. Your presence is really important, and this planet needs you now more than ever. Bye for now.